kilometers to 375 meters. I mean, you're increasing the resolution tremendously, and so you're getting such fine detail in the clouds. And this really helps us, Alex, as forecasters, as meteorologists, get more information and tell you what the storm is doing. And that's what we're going to have for the Atlantic Ocean come next hurricane season.
And that's going to be fantastic because, as you mentioned, the more detail you have in what's going on, I would imagine, I'm sure folks at home can understand that that's going to help you get more detail in the forecast moving forward.
And it's not just in the still snapshots. We're also getting it in the motion. Take a look at, we have a video here from another typhoon in the Western Pacific. This is the sort of detail that we're going to have in the Atlantic next year. I mean, it's like taking that point-and-click camera that you have and putting it into burst mode. I mean, that's how smooth the images are, and you can really see things like the wind shear on one side of the system.
Yeah, you can see the convection. You can see kind of that stadium appearance of the eye.
What we call diurnal pulses, where you have these thunderstorms spreading out from the center. There's so many things that we can see from the satellite, from an enhanced resolution, both from a temporal standpoint, but also from a spatial standpoint too. There's just a lot of information that we're going to be gathering from these satellites.
Yeah, and that's going to be great. So now I'm sure the big question from people at home: when do I get to look at these things?
Well, next hurricane season, we should have the GOES-R in the Atlantic Ocean. We thought we might actually have it for this hurricane season, but I want to talk about the forecast itself, because when you look at the number of observations that go into our computer models, for example, the European model, most of our observations are here over land. We have 66,000. This is actually that went into last night's model run. 66,000 observations, mostly over land. We do have
much less over the ocean.
Yeah, much less over the ocean. We have some over the ocean, but you're talking on the order of, Brian, if we can advance to the next one, on the order of 7,000 observations over all of our oceans. But you can see that they're very sparse in between. And it's really the satellites, if you go to the next slide here, that fill in the gaps over the ocean. So the satellites are incredibly important for what's happening in the tropics, Alex. In the tropics, too, by the way, GOES-R is going to cover this part of the Atlantic where you see GOES 13, GOES 15. But the tropics is really where our forecasts go awry, not just in the forecast of tropical cyclones and hurricanes, but also in the mid-latitudes as well. So this is going to help our forecast overall, not just in the tropics.
So great news. And for those of you who just love looking at weather, some pretty spectacular images.
Awesome.
There's a new face in a showdown between environmentalists and business interests unfolding in the mountains of southern Arizona. A male jaguar, thought to be the only one in the United States today, has been caught on camera by the Department of Fish and Wildlife several times over the past 9 months. Officials say the jaguar was first brought to their attention last September after the hunter got a picture of the jaguar's tail. Officials have known about the jaguar since 2011, but were unable to pinpoint his recent whereabouts. Remote-controlled, federally funded cameras belonging to the University of Arizona have photographed the male jaguar 7 times over 5 different locations in the mountains southeast of Tucson, all near a site where a copper mine has been proposed and is awaiting a federal decision. The jaguar's range extends from northern Mexico to South America, so the debate centers on how important these mountains are to the endangered species. I'm Matt Sampson, the Weather Channel.